Hey.
It's Friday.
Sure is.
And you know what happens on Friday?
What's that?
The fries are done.
Oh, they are, man.
If you hear the beeping in the background, sometimes the silence alarm gets a mind of its own.
It's one of those things I love because if anything goes wrong, we're notified immediately so we can go and figure it out. But it's kind of annoying.
It's like a puppy or maybe a kitten that is hungry and never gets enough to eat. It just keeps meowing.
What I want to change it, the
To a
sound
meow?
to a meow, or I want to change it to the goat that goes ah.
That would be amazing. The screaming goat. Hey, your mom's on the video
my
stream.
mom. Hey, my mom's awake.
Good morning, Mrs. Reinhardt.
She probably heard the same alarm. It was like, oh, I'm
Time
up.
to get up.
Time to get up. So I'm going to go figure that out here in just a second.
Should I do the news?
Yeah, let's find out what's happening in the news this morning.
All right.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Good morning. Happy Friday. Here's some of the local news we're following for you today. A program that has strategically placed 20 cameras along primary roadways around Berrien County will be continued for another 5 years, following action taken yesterday by the Berrien County Board of Commissioners. The board approved a resolution continuing the Sheriff's Department partnership with the Flock Group. Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Haidt told commissioners Flock has been helpful in identifying stolen cars.
I would say the one person who really needs to worry about is if you're driving a stolen car, you probably need to worry about it. But it's one of the best tools I've seen in my law enforcement career.
Haidt added the cameras have also resulted in other crimes being solved, pointing to the robbery of Dunham's Sports in Benton Township.
When Dunham's for the firearms that were stolen, Flock was vital in that investigation for doing that. We had a missing autistic child that was found based on a hit on a license plate that was done. Several stolen vehicles. We had a stolen vehicle and trailer in the Buffalo Township that was found in Ottawa County, and it was found because of Flock.
Flock was started on a pilot program basis back in 2022. Funding for the program comes from the county's public safety millage. Students around Michigan are being invited to take part in the Michigan Department of Transportation's Paint the Plow program this year. MDOT spokesperson Nick Sharippa tells us the Paint the Plow program started as a pilot last year, asking students to propose art for large plow blades. It's being expanded all over the state this year. He says submissions should follow a theme.
Go hands-free, just drive. It's the law. And that's going to be used as a reminder for the new legislation that just went into effect almost a year ago now, in June 2023, making it illegal for a driver to hold and use an electronic device while behind the wheel.
Did you get the fries ready?
I think so.
Are the fries ready? Nick Sharippa says Paint the Plow was a success last year, prompting MDOT to expand the program this year. The agency will accept Paint the Plow design applications through middle of May. Selected schools will be notified before the end of the school year. They're then going to deliver a plow blade in the fall. Schools will have about 6 weeks to paint their design and before MDOT staff comes back and puts the plow blade on a big old plow machine and gets it out in the thing.
What would you paint on the plow blade?
I mean, if the theme this year is the hands-free cell phone use, I don't know. I have no idea, because one thing comes to mind when you talk about that, the hands-free cell phone, is you're doing it to save lives. So maybe you just have a picture of a bunch of children and puppies and kittens and everything else, and then somebody else, some loser driving with the hands on their phone.
Yeah, but then the other side of things, it looks like an image of the plow hit a bunch of children and cats.
Yeah,
which not good.
Or maybe it's just a big old cell phone that's threatening the kids.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You can animate that, but
just like maybe like an Uncle Sam pointing at them.
This is why they gave it to the people with more creativity than us.
Yep.
The school kids. So we'll do that. One more story. AAA of Michigan is activating its Tow to Go program for the St. Patrick's Day holiday weekend.
Okay.
AAA spokesperson Adrian Woodland tells us Tow to Go will give a ride and a tow to anyone who's had a little bit too much to drink. Woodland says drunk driving is a huge problem on St. Patrick's Day.
Actually, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, St. Patrick's Day is one of the deadliest holidays on U.S. roadways. And in 2020, more than 11,000 people died in drunk driving crashes. And those deaths could have been avoided if the impaired drivers found a safe ride home instead of driving drunk.
Woodland says with Tow to Go, you can get a ride and a tow to a safe location that's within 10 miles of wherever you are. The program is open to AAA members and non-members alike, and it's free. However, she stresses Tow to Go is to be viewed as a last resort. The smarter option is to, well, for instance, arrange a ride before going out drinking. Maybe don't drink. Maybe you're the designated driver.
There you go.
Something along that. Or maybe just stay home.
Great options.
Stay home. Tow to Go will be open from 6 p.m. today until 6 a.m. Monday.
Yeah.
So if you need it at 5:59 a.m. Monday morning, maybe take work off that day.
Yeah, you've had too much.
Yeah.
But you're exactly right. Don't use it as a get out of driving card, and where it's like, I can just drink as much as I want.
Yeah, it's not a taxi. In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
I feel like they should do the wheelbarrow. Like you have to be put like the old
the
school
big flag on
the
it.
old school, either the wheelbarrow or the back in the day where they would just put the people that have been drinking too much in the back of
the paddy
carriage,
wagon
in the carriage.
Yeah.
And the horse and carriage thing. Yeah. Just throw them in a pile of hay.
Well, they're drunk anyway. They won't notice.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. The hay will keep them warm.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up here in just a little bit, we'll catch you up with sports right now. Let's find out what's happening around the nation and the world with ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Brian Clark. Deadly storm swept through the...
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Stephanie reminded me my role in the podcast I was telling you about.
Yeah.
I was Captain Gratitude.
Captain Gratitude.
Yeah, so I was a superhero in that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this was like a podcast, like series
Yeah,
thing?
it's a podcast series for children.
Okay. That's neat.
I don't know. Somebody in Kentucky or Tennessee had it. He was a school person.
Fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it was fun.
I like that idea.
Captain Gratitude is here.
That's what it was?
Something
like that?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not really in it right now. But
No, you're not. You have to get into
I got to get the cape.
Get into character. No, I'm with you. I can't just flip the switch on certain stuff.
Do King Lear. Come on. King Lear.
I've never done Shakespeare. When I was in high school, we had to learn about certain Shakespeare pieces, and Macbeth was one of them. And they had us act it. They had us act it out, but not really. It was more just like, today you're going to be Macbeth, you're going to be Lady Macbeth, you're going to be Macduff, and all these other ones.
Yeah.
But then it would rotate, and you would a lot of times you're reading it for the first time, so we didn't have to act it out or do anything like that. Yeah, I did one time when I was in college, did a 15-minute Hamlet.
Whoa.
Which is hilarious. Yeah, you do it. It's
15 minutes.
15 minutes of Hamlet. Yeah, really, it's
on
about
stage?
It's about 7 minutes or about 10 minutes of Hamlet, and then 5 minutes of a recap, and you do it super fast.
Oh,
I played, I think, 3 characters.
What, you did the whole play in 15 minutes?
Basically, it's the cliff notes, the synopsis of it, and it ends up being a comedy. It's hilarious.
Do you think Shakespeare would have appreciated that?
Absolutely. Because I think his goal in mind was to not only for people to enjoy the writing and for him to probably make some money off of the theater, but I think really just to tell stories.
Yeah.
And if you're able to tell the story in a short amount of time, he probably enjoyed it.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, 15-minute Hamlet. They have other 15-minute things out there, but yeah, it was fun. I think I was the
15-minute War and Peace.
They need to. I know I was the grave digger.
Oh.
And then I never played the main character. I was like the supporting character. So I had to, you didn't really have to wear a bunch of costumes. You pretty much just like, you take a cloth and then you're the grave digger and you put a little hunch in your back.
Did the grave digger dig up Yorick?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Alas, poor Yorick.
Yeah. All I know is I probably did it about 12, 13 years ago in college.
Fun.
And yeah, fun times. We would take it on tour because we go to school tours, high school tours, and we did 15-minute Hamlet for the theater side. And man, it was fun.
That
Good
is
times.
Fun. That's great.
How's everybody doing this morning? Oh,
Well-
you could go racing this weekend, is what Bill says.
Ooh, sweet.
Bill, do you just go racing every weekend?
His whole life is a race.
Yeah.
He says the world is a racetrack.
And do you struggle
Are
driving
you
55?
on the track or are you in the pits?
Struggle driving 55?
That's good stuff.
So yeah. I'm surprised you've never done a play. Like you never got roped in to do any sort of theater in high school or anything like that. Not even elementary school. You didn't have to do like a church Christmas pageant or anything like that.
Yeah, there was a Christmas pageant at the church. You know, when the injured person is on the road and the three different people walk by.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was one we did. That was fun.
Kind of highlighting people being good Samaritans.
Yeah, that was my last that was probably my last performance.
My first performance, I think I've told you this. My first performance, I was baby Jesus.
Ah.
Yeah.
Cute little baby Jesus.
Yeah, not so much. According to my mother and my brothers, I just cried the entire time.
Ah.
Yeah. So I think that was the first and last time they had a real baby as baby Jesus. It seemed like a good idea at the time. I was so it was Christmas time, so I was about 6 months old. And I think the people that were organizing it at our church thought, well, his brothers are all going to be on stage. So if we have his brothers nearby, just in case, he's probably, they can comfort him and he'll be fine. And then I don't know where my mom was, if she was like nearby. I don't think she ended up having to be on the stage at the time. And she can, of course, tell this story if she wants to in the comments, or I'm sure she'll text me later. Because my mom is the one that likes to recap any of the, or like more like the corrector, like the stat person. Like, I noticed that you said this, but it's actually this.
Ooh.
These are the fact checker. Which I appreciate it because I tell stories all the time, and it may not tell the stories in complete accuracy.
Well, I mean, got to make them entertaining.
Well, in this one, obviously, I have no idea what happened. I was just told because later on, because I was 6 months old, I have no memory of this. But yeah, baby Jesus.
Very nice. Very nice.
And I like to consider myself like my life sort of like how baby Jesus and regular Jesus were, because if you read the Bible,
you're doing this for your mom.
If you read, no, I tell my mom this all the time. I give
her
a hard time because, and she just sent me something on Instagram about how the youngest child has like no photos of them anywhere in the house. I said, yeah, my life's kind of like how Jesus's was. You heard about him when he was a baby. You kind of heard about him when he was a young kid.
Yeah.
And then you lost sight of him for like 20 years. And then all of a sudden he pops up when he's in his 30s. So that's kind of, yeah. But then my oldest brother has nothing but piles upon piles of photos.
There's probably like a painting, an oil painting over the mantle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those classic, because he was born in 79. So it's got that. You still had those classic like photos of the baby. And then you put the photos of the parents up in the corner looking down at their baby. Those weird photos. I'm sure you, as having 3 kids, there's probably a lot more pictures of the oldest one, and then
I don't know. I think it changes with
social media and stuff,
with smartphones.
Yeah,
because you were splurging before smartphones. You were splurging for pictures,
right?
So yeah, by the time you had the last kid, I can see that. But nowadays. Yeah, everything. What I really love and appreciate.
Hang on. Here we go.
All right,
here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
In WSJM.
Got to get back to the show here. Got to get back to the show here. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right.
Needs to be a bigger clock somewhere.
Should I get I have a sign that has like I can do dry erase on there. I could just have a sign.
I want a clock that's 3 feet wide, 3 feet tall, and it's analog, and it's just clicking down.
How about a whiteboard sign that I bought for $1 that's dry erase that just says "Stop talking," or "Here we go."
Here we go.
I'll just put "Here we go."
Here we go. Just hold it up. Here we go.
Yeah, I'll bring it in on Monday. All right, you can be part of the show anytime. You can call 925 WSJM.
What if I can't read it?
Oh my gosh, then I'll throw it at you.
Okay.
We're on our live stream if you want to hang out there as well. But we've been talking about quite a lot of different things. What do we got on the list here?
You know,
What's the
you ever
latest?
hear about payday loans? You ever drive by the payday loan place?
Oh, the ones that give you your money before
Yeah.
your boss does?
Yeah, you sign over your paycheck or whatever and say, "Hey, can I borrow a few bucks?" And they charge you,
I see 'em,
300% interest or
I
something
see them
like
pop
that.
up all the time. Luckily, I've never had to do it.
Yeah, fortunately, and what happens is a lot of the payday loan places they pop up around military bases.
Oh, yeah.
They're very popular around places like that where you have young people with money issues
Sure.
and access to money, and so they a lot of people say they take advantage of people by charging them astronomically high interest rates when they need money the most.
Yeah.
So lawmakers in Lansing have passed legislation in the Michigan Senate to set a 36% annual percentage rate cap on payday loans. Now, you think about your credit card.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know what your credit card interest rate is? Mine's typically, I have a credit union one, so it's 11%. But many people are paying upwards of 20.
Oh, yeah. Some of those can be
25%.
20, 29.
Yeah. Real high.
But they put 0.999 on there just to make you not feel like it's too much.
But the legislation passed yesterday sets a 36% annual percentage rate cap on payday loans. The vote follows previous legislative attempts that went nowhere and a voter-led campaign that failed to collect enough signatures to land a spot on the ballot. But the bill passed 24-13 with the support of Democrats and some Republicans. Heads to the State House next for consideration.
I like this idea.
Yeah, it puts a cap on it.
Yeah.
One of the proponents of the bill said it feels like low-hanging fruit, just a way to keep more money in the pockets of people who need it the most.
Right. It makes total sense because I think that hasn't been much regulation with some of these types of companies, and they're taking advantage of the people. They're like, oh, well, I need the money now.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, we'll give you the money now, but we're going to need this much back.
Yeah.
And they're going to pay it because it's either the place that's nearby where they are or, they need it now. So they just don't think about it.
Well, and they get the cash advance on their paychecks. And if their financial picture doesn't get any better when they have to pay back the loan, they often have to take out another loan to pay that back. And then it just starts cycling that. And a lot of these predatory lenders are just more than willing to do that. But it's a bad cycle. So anyway, Michigan legislature looking at it.
Well, that's good to see that.
Yeah.
Other things that I saw, this is a interesting thing at Frontier Airlines. Starting next month, they are going to let flyers pay $49 for an empty middle seat in some rows of 3. It will ensure the luxury of both armrests of those usually packed budget flights. But don't get too used to the price, though. The airline says it's just an introductory promo.
Oh. So
are you a middle seat, aisle seat, or window seat if there's 3?
I don't think anyone on the planet is a middle seat person.
No?
I would hate to be in the middle seat.
I like the middle. I get 2 people to talk to. Hey, how you doing? Oh, you're not as interesting as I thought you would be. Hey, how you doing?
You have not been engaged then in the arm rest fight.
Oh, no, I just take over both.
You get there early.
Yeah, get there early, set them down, and I'm not fighting.
And you're not moving.
You're not moving me, and I'm fighting you.
I would prefer to sit next to the window.
The window?
Yeah. I mean, if I think I'm going to have to get up, if it's a long flight, maybe the aisle. But I'd rather just not be disturbed. Put me by the window. I can look outside. I can see, whatever's outside. And I know I have at least one armrest. Would
you be willing to pay more money?
Yes.
To get less people near you?
To have fewer people near me, yes, absolutely. If I can get the kid behind me to stop banging the back of my seat,
I'd pay $50 just for that.
I'd pay $50 for a squirt gun and not get in trouble for using it.
I like that. Yeah, that's
just water in it,
right?
Yeah, but you're banging my seat. I'm going to use the squirt gun.
Yeah, it'd be like how you play video games. You build up rewards, and you end up getting certain things that you can go and get from the store. I would love that, where it's like, you're a Gold Club member. You get the squirt gun.
Yeah. Plane travel fascinates me. One, because it's fun to fly, but the second thing is it really is just a bus in the air.
Yeah.
And it's becoming more and more bus-like in some of the bad neighborhoods where you have so many people who are so, I don't know, tense, angry, I don't know, thinking that they deserve first class when they've only paid for a coach in the back of the plane.
Right.
It's like, come on, can't we all just get along?
They
And
got
the
the
middle seat, I think, drives a lot of frustration and
Right.
anxiety.
They've got the huge bags. They do all that stuff.
They do that, and they're swinging stuff around.
Mhm.
Bags are hitting you in the head.
Yeah. So yeah,
Is that why you drive?
That's why I drive. Yeah. I don't like the cramped space, and I don't like it to where, like, if I start to get I don't get too much anxiety, but if I start to get a little uncomfortable, I look at the clock. I'm constantly looking at my watch, like, oh, still got another hour and a half or 2 hours of this, and it's not fun. Luckily, I can sleep just about anywhere.
Yeah.
So I most of the time, no matter what time the flight has been, I just try to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And say, well, hopefully I can just fall asleep and not snore or anything like that, and I could just don't have to worry about anything and don't bother anybody.
Yeah. Do you ever follow those Instagram sites where the passenger shaming sites?
Oh, yeah.
Where
seen some of those.
They often post pictures of people on airplanes in a public place who have taken off their shoes and put their feet all over the place in planes, like on the food tray, in the aisle, under your seat. So you look down and you see somebody's, toes.
Ugh.
Yeah. Plane travel.
I think they just put us in pods. Like, I've seen futuristic movies. I think they just put us in pods.
Yeah.
And put us to sleep, and then we're there when we get there.
I would pay for that.
Yeah.
I'd pay an extra $49
I
for
would.
that. Yeah.
$49.99.
Let's do that. It's going up already.
We'll catch you up with sports news, and your Bloomberg Market Minute is next.
At Sturgis Bank, it's our people that make the.
All right.
Yeah, the whole invention of the middle seat, it's just a moneymaker. Because the fuselage is yay big.
Yeah.
And the comfortable seats are up front. They call that first class or business class. And it's like, okay, this is a normal person seat. This is what I would sit in. Maybe it's a little smaller than what I'd sit in at home, but it's fine. And then in the back, not only have they gone wide where they have the middle seat now, but they've gone thin where they can shove more seats in you have less leg room.
Have you ever seen a movie or an airplane that looks like what's depicted in the movies, where they have these huge fuselages, 3 or 4 sections of things? You ever been in a plane that big that says, "Oh, wow, I've got so much more room"?
Yeah, a couple of them, and
Well, you've been on Air Force One, right?
Air Force
2, 7,
whatever it was,
9.
It was the First Lady's plane. I don't know if that gets an Air Force 2 designation. I think that's the Vice President.
I think Vice President's Air Force 2. But
anyway,
one of the government
of the government planes. And that one wasn't anything fancy. It was just a regular commercial plane.
Oh, okay, cool.
That had, the seats in it. But no, there was an international flight that had the 2 floors.
Oh, nice.
And those are fun to see.
Yeah.
But again, you go back into the coach section, they've shoved as many seats as they can in there. As many seats as they can.
Just the width of them, I always see in the movies. I'm like, man, that's a lot. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
Some of the small planes to get to out in Washington State, 2 seats on one side, 1 seat on the other.
Yep, I've seen those. Yeah, that's a tiny one.
Yeah, that the 1 seat is. It's like, okay, the positives here is I never have to sit next to anyone.
Right.
The negative is it's a really small plane.
Yeah, you stand up and you bump the top real quick.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I try to just drive anywhere I can go. If once they make faster boats that can get me across the Atlantic Ocean, I'm all for that.
Oh, that reminds me of a story.
The Titanic story?
Yeah. You have it?
I got a little brief little thing about it. The government is maybe going to allow us to go back down to the Titanic. Trip down to the Titanic. Company that owns the salvage rights to the ship had planned on diving down to take pictures and retrieve some artifacts, but the U.S. government filed legal challenge saying that the site should be treated as a graveyard. But on Wednesday, U.S. attorney said that the dive has been scaled back, which might end the government's fight against the company. The Titanic is being eaten away by bacteria under the sea. So time, they say, is of the essence.
Oh,
To get any more of those important artifacts that they've been trying to uncover.
Oh,
because it's deep down there. I mean, and it's not like they can just scuba dive and
they can't
fill a bag. They've got to go with those little submarines, and it's very dangerous.
Yeah, wasn't it that little submarine? Weren't they trying to see the Titanic and they lost them all? Remember?
Yeah, the private company that the
we
thing
followed
imploded.
it for a few days and it imploded. Well, that's what they found, but not after searching for 3 days.
Yeah,
and that was a real sad story.
yeah, I believe it was the Titanic that they were going to go and see, but
the Titanic story I was thinking of was the guy who wants to build another one.
Oh, they're trying to do that still?
Yeah.
Titanic 2?
For a decade, Australian billionaire Clive Palmer. It's a great name, but for a billionaire, by the way, Clive Palmer.
Clive.
Clive Palmer.
I need to borrow some money, Clive.
He's been the driving force behind plans to build the second Titanic, a replica of the ship that sank in 1912. Why? He says it's a lot more fun to do the Titanic than it is to sit around and count my money.
So is the Titanic going to have better navigation and sonar so that it'll look like the old Titanic, but if it has equipment
does it really need it though? They hit an iceberg, and I mean we've got global warming, so
yeah, the iceberg definitely not there now.
Why do you need that?
If you take that same path, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, the pandemic slowed him down a little bit, but it is a multi-million-dollar project. It's going forward.
Okay.
He wants to build a replica of the Titanic, and
I'd ride on that one.
Would you?
Yeah, I would go on it.
Okay.
Because again, it hit an iceberg, so kind of a fluke, and I assume the engineering will be a little bit better because I believe there was a fire that happened in the hull of the boat and caused some of the metal to be weak, and nobody noticed it. Nobody said anything, and that's kind of what kind of caused it. That the impact of the iceberg with the weakened metal is what kind of made that happen.
Is that a theory?
No, I saw some facts.
Okay,
about it.
Was there a grassy knoll?
Jack
involved?
Dawson told me.
Was there a grassy knoll?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
No, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, the engineering and the also too. The speed that they were building it, I think they built it too fast, and they were trying to get the deadline, and they don't think they ran enough tests to make sure. But also too, I don't think that back then the navigation of the iceberg spotters. Well, in the movie, the guy fell asleep.
Oh no,
the guy watching.
Oh,
he wasn't paying attention.
Oh,
but anyways, got to get back to the show here in just a moment.
Here we
Wall
go.
Street after a lower close yesterday. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Just past 7:30. Good morning. Today we're looking at some clouds that started out, but it looks like it will be a nice sunny day later on. High 52. Later tonight we're looking at clear skies with a low of 36. On Saturday, sunny and 56.
Wow.
That is good autumn-like weather in the middle of, towards the end of winter.
Nice.
So looking forward to that.
Very good.
That's March Madness right there.
That is March Madness. This
March
weather
Madness is going on. I think we have to pick our brackets. I think Selection Sunday is this coming Sunday.
Who has the brackets?
I'll have the brackets for you, but I believe that Monday we should have what is supposed to be on the bracket.
Okay.
They have to place all the people in the schools.
Okay. So when do I have to choose?
I think I'll have to double check. I think games start Wednesday, maybe. So I'll have it first part of next week. I'll have the bracket printed out.
So I don't have anything to do this weekend other than research.
No research.
No research.
No research.
Oh.
Remember? We said no research. We were just going to go. Yeah, don't
randomly
don't
pick.
go cheating.
You want me to just pick by names and stuff?
Pick by whatever you feel. Because I'll be honest.
Mascots?
I have not been paying attention to college basketball. I know a couple of the teams that are. No, I haven't.
Okay.
I know a couple that have been decent,
Yeah.
Like mainly I've been following a little bit of Michigan, but Michigan's not going to be in the tournament because they had a really bad season. So I don't have to worry about them. But the teams that have played Michigan, I do know a little bit of that from listening to those games on 94.9.
Pistons, are the Pistons going to be in it?
I don't even think the Pistons could get to the Final Four at this stage. They're still struggling a little bit.
They don't have a bad winning streak again, do they?
Our losing streak?
Excuse me.
I don't think so, but I'll double check.
Okay.
We'll get to some of that conversation maybe a little bit later, but right now let's find out what's happening in the news.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Here are some local stories that we're looking at. We were just talking about the Pistons. Their record is 12-53. But in their division, they are above the Wizards.
Oh, wow.
Who are at 11-55.
I still think relegation should happen, just like the Premier League. Like, just start pushing some of these teams out in these sports.
But they've won their last 2 games.
Oh, look at that.
The Pistons have. Anyway, in local news, more local than that, updating a story we first told you about yesterday, the Van Buren County Sheriff's Office has recovered the portable sawmill that was stolen from a residence in Waverly Township. The initial report was the theft of a portable sawmill from a residence in the 46,000 block of 41st Street in Waverly. The sawmill was taken overnight Tuesday or Wednesday morning, but sometime around 2 yesterday afternoon, the Sheriff's Office received a tip from a citizen regarding the location of the sawmill. They said they saw a news report about the stolen machine when they noticed it also, the same thing, on a neighboring property in rural Columbia Township. See, people wonder why we post pictures.
It was their neighbor?
Well, it was somebody
nearby.
Yeah. But people wonder why we post pictures when the law enforcement agencies ask us to be on the lookout for. This is why. Because people see what they're looking for, and then they notice it in real life. They make the call. Deputies showed up. They were able to confirm that the sawmill was the ones reported stolen. A suspect was identified and arrested. He's a 43-year-old man from Hartford. Apparently needed to saw some wood. He was arrested, and the sawmill was returned to the owner of the sheriff's office, and the owner of the sawmill want to thank the public for their assistance.
And the news people.
Yeah, well, and the news people. But it was a portable sawmill, and I looked up a similar one online. They go for like upwards of $8,000.
Oh yeah, they are expensive.
They're expensive.
Yeah,
and they're really connected oftentimes to people's livelihood. So don't go stealing livelihood. In other news, the Berrien County Board of Commissioners has given the go-ahead to the Community Development Director, Dan Fetty, to hire a contractor to dredge the St. Joe River in the area near the Tacklehaven docks in the coming weeks. They still need a permit, but at least they've lined up a contractor in case they get that permit in order. At their regular Thursday meeting, Fetty told commissioners 1 bid for the work came in for the work. Only one bid came in.
We need to get in the dredging business.
I'm telling you, it was from a Grand Haven company, and the cost of this dredging in those areas about $50,000.
$50,000?
Yeah.
We could make that money, Ken.
I'm telling you. So they still need to get the permit for the dredging. They at least have somebody lined up. The commission was okay with approving that contract at this time, and they're going to figure out a way to get the money from St. Joseph, the city of St. Joseph, the township, St. Joseph Township, also from the marinas.
Okay.
In the area. So we'll see how that sorts out, because I think there are still a lot of questions on that one. And then also just being on notice that part of Red Arrow Highway in New Buffalo Township will close next week on Monday for a Berrien County Road Department project. They are reconstructing Red Arrow Highway from US 12 to Community Hall Road. Basically, it's going to go on a road diet, go from 4 lanes down to 2 lanes, 1 in either direction with a middle turn lane.
Oh.
So they've been doing a lot of nice things in that area.
Sure.
Making the road a lot better. So they're going to do that starting on Monday.
They're going to be like an area for walking or biking?
It is going to be part of the trail.
Space for that?
Yeah, it is going to be part of that, the linear trail.
Yeah. Very cool.
So,
yeah, I saw the signs yesterday.
In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Yeah, I mean, tons of road construction everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go right now.
But hey, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
The road will be nice.
Fix the damn roads.
Eventually. We'll get to sports here in just a moment. Right now, let's find out what's happening around the state.
The Michigan News Network. I'm Beth Fisher. A jury has found the father of mass shooter Ethan Crumbley guilty of involuntary manslaughter in connection with the deadly.
Killing me, Smalls. All right. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? We'll check on our comments here. Bill says he has no problem with speed limits. Racing belongs on the track, not the streets.
Ah,
Like that.
Fast and Furious.
Should be a t-shirt. Racing. Rubbing is racing.
What?
Rubbing is racing.
Oh, boy.
That's what they say in NASCAR.
Oh, I get it.
They do the drifting or the not drifting, the where the bump draft.
Yeah.
Bump draft. Bill said he would stay on the ground, with all the planes and all that stuff.
Yeah. Easier that way.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Diane, Teresa, Bill, Jeff in there. Where's Jeff?
No Jeff today.
Did he take Friday off?
I don't know.
St. Patrick's Day?
Because I was going to ask Jeff if he wore his underwear on his head.
Oh, that's right. Because they're going for the Guinness thing.
That happened. So they set the record in St. Louis. We talked about this, I think, earlier this week, where they were trying to set the record for people with underwear on their heads. They got 355. I think they were going for pi. They were going for 314, and they ended up getting 355 people. And I was wondering if Jeff was part of that. That smashes the old record of 270. St. Louis may have a weird fixation with the boxer shorts and the underwears on their heads, but they now are world record holders. They also hold the record for the largest pair of underwear. So they have an underwear thing going on in St. Louis. I don't get it.
Huh. So this is in St. Louis. I'm looking it up here. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah.
What I would love to see, and this would be more of an art project, not a world record thing, but like I'm surprised that there has not been an artist out there that puts those installations, those big large installations,
the huge ones. Yeah,
I'm surprised that nobody has taken the Gateway Arch and added another arch and called it the McDonald's Arch. Why has that not happened? Why has McDonald's not paid money to an artist to do that just for like a couple days?
Well, that with
It's
AI,
expensive.
with AI, you could do it
Easily.
in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
The Golden Arches. Welcome to buy the naming rights for a day.
Just a day. Yeah. Or just build it. Boom. Little.
That's a good idea.
Drop it in there. Boom.
I would also like to see the arch covered by fabric for a day.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. There's artists that do that.
Yeah. I love that.
Can't remember his name, but yeah, he'll do like bridges, large bridges, installations, and cover it in fabric, and pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. You ever watch? I spent years watching Art 21.
No, what is that?
It's out of PBS. It's a PBS thing. It's art of the 21st century, and what they do is they go and hang out with artists in different countries, different cities. There have been some Michigan artists that have been featured, and of course, Art Prize in Grand Rapids, a huge thing. A lot of wackadoodle stuff, man.
Wackadoodle,
man. It is cool, but it's a lot of that performance art, installations, painting, photography, all kinds of things. But I just like how it's one of those peaceful like things to sit and watch, because the way it's filmed and the way it's presented, it's fun to watch. So yeah, Art in the 21st Century, if you ever want to check it out. There's like, I don't know, 20 seasons of that thing.
Okay.
But there was an artist, as you were mentioning, wrapped in fabric. There was one of the artists that has done that work where they will take like a whole like very big bridge, like in a country, and they're like, oh, we're going to wrap the whole bridge in this fabric. So pretty cool stuff. And then
it's not let's see, I'm looking it up. World's most enormous art installations. Let's see here. Patrick Doherty, is that one of the guys?
I think
He's
that's
down in Florida.
I think that's the guy from Grey's Anatomy. Oh no, that's Patrick Dempsey. Patrick Dempsey.
Is that Dr. McDreamy or whatever?
Yep, that's McDreamy. You don't have to joke about the fact that you're like, oh, that's just.
I'm not a Grey's
creamy, right?
Anatomy. I'm a House fan.
Oh,
I love House.
That's so you're only tied to one medical show.
Yeah. I only have enough space for one medical show to
That's
rent.
like
up
I
here.
think it's Teresa that's 911 watches. Oh no, she watches I think 911, the 911 series as well as
Chicago Fire.
The Chicago Fire.
I think you're the one that watches the Chicago Fire.
She said she watches that too.
Oh, she watches it as well. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, Chicago. I stopped watching the Chicago Fire. Now I guess we paused it. Now we're watching Elementary.
Oh,
remember the one with Lucy Liu and Johnny Lee Miller?
That wasn't the plagiarism accusation
one,
was it?
No,
that was another one.
Yeah, he plays like Sherlock Holmes,
Oh.
but in New York in modern times.
Oh,
and
that
it's pretty
sounds
good.
fun.
Yeah, it's a good show. He's a great actor, and Lucy Liu, great supporting actor. With that, the balance between the two is fantastic.
I love the Sherlock stories.
Yeah,
they're great.
You ever seen the one with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman? They're in it, and
I don't know.
That's like a BBC.
Is that where they do only 3 episodes a season?
Yeah,
I've seen that.
But the 3 episodes are like close
3 hours
to
long
2
each,
hours. 2 hours. They're like an hour and a half. So it's
Yeah.
basically you're watching a 4-hour movie.
Yeah. No, that's very good. Very well done.
Yeah, that one. I don't know if I think I watched all of that. That's a good show.
Hello, Diane. Good morning. Got everybody there. Everybody there. All the usuals. Anyone going to do anything fun for St. Patrick's Day? Are you doing anything?
Me? No.
I mean, you've got Wonka
I've
performances.
got the Wonka performance. And then yeah, I know I've got some corned beef that I need to get out of the freezer. Get that ready to go.
Yeah, you better start throwing that now.
Yeah. It's not that big.
Okay.
We're gonna crock pot it anyway, so
Okay.
it should be fine.
Nice.
And then I was going to, if I have time, it may be post St. Patrick's Day. I was going to make Irish soda bread.
Oh, how do you make that?
Seems pretty simple.
Yeah.
I've never made it before, but I'm going to. My plan is to put it in my my iron skillet. I'll make the dough, put it in the iron skillet, and then toss it in the oven. So and bake it that way. So we shall see how it turns out. I have never made it, so I do not know.
That sounds fun. I'm thinking about making green mashed potatoes.
Green mashed potatoes?
Yeah, in honor of St. Patrick's Day.
Why would you do green mashed potatoes?
For St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, just mashed potatoes and just put a little bit of green in them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not green potatoes.
Do you ever do green eggs and ham?
No.
When I was in preschool, we read the book and then we did the teacher made green eggs and ham for us, and that's what we had like a little snack.
What was green?
The
eggs?
The scrambled eggs. She just did scrambled eggs and then just did a little bit of food coloring.
Did you ever have the issue where people who made scrambled eggs for you, or maybe you made them yourself, and they were green?
No.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember
People
exactly why.
Bad cooks.
No, I think there was something reacting in the pan.
Oh.
Back when. Let's see.
Oh.
What
the heck are you eating, man? Maybe that's why you don't eat meat anymore.
Green. The sulfur.
Oh.
Green means the sulfur in the eggs has bloomed, and it is a sign that the eggs are overcooked.
Oh.
Which is why you get that greenish tinge sometime
when you
hard boil.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So if you want to avoid that, slow down your cooking, turn the heat down a little bit.
Teresa says her mom would make green oatmeal.
Green oatmeal? That's fun. I like that.
Teresa did chime in about her watching habits. She says she watches 911. She likes watching the Chicago Fire and the Good Doctor.
The Good Doctor is fun.
I'm not. Oh, so you like the Good Doctor and House?
I don't watch it. I haven't binged that.
House is over with, so you're fine.
It's never really over. As long as it's available, I'll watch it.
Well, it's available, but the season, what did that show end in, like 2000?
I don't know. I never watched it while it was still on.
No,
I've watched the season or the series twice. I think so good.
Yeah, the overcooking of the eggs is not good. I mean, I know when I make scrambled eggs, I like my scrambled eggs to be a little bit wet.
Yeah.
And then I toss some cheese in there.
Yes.
And cook them slow. Don't cook them fast.
I think there are both ways.
You really like a fast one?
Well,
how fast? How fast are we talking?
If you want to prepare a classic French omelet, what you do is you have your pan, you have it preheated, then you put a little bit of butter in there, a little bit of olive oil.
Yeah.
You already have the
I'm
egg
talking
stuff.
Scrambled eggs.
But then what you do is you dump all the egg stuff in there, and as soon as it hits the pan, you start shaking the pan and shaking the spatula at the same time,
right.
and you go crazy like that. Now you can stop right there, and you've immediately made the most perfect, delicious scrambled eggs. But if you want to go a little further and make the perfect classic French omelet, then you fold it up. And
perfect in your opinion.
Dump it on the classic French omelet, and dump it on a plate, and then just make it all nice and pretty. A little slit, some more butter, a little bit of salt. Done.
There's your cooking tips from Ken.
Yeah, so good. But
now you're making me hungry.
But it's so good. And you use a nonstick.
Ken's given us the what you should do.
Got to use a nonstick. There's no should about that one. Got to use a nonstick.
Ken Lundberg, nobody does it better than I do.
That's
segment.
Not true. No, you were asking about scrambled eggs, and so I was giving you my input.
Yeah. Oh, I make this. This is really great. It's the best.
Yeah.
I beg to differ on that one. I have another thing.
No,
that's better than your best.
Slow scrambled eggs. I said that's one way of doing it. There's also another way.
That's a new section coming to moodyonthemarket.com. That's one way of doing it with Ken Lundberg.
That's one way of doing it.
All right. We've got a lot of things still on the list. I've been so busy talking about other things on our live stream that I have not even been looking at what we got still on the list of things. We've talked about TikTok. We've talked about the 32-hour work week, which, by the way, people on our live stream chime in. We talked about this last hour about the 32-hour work week that is being proposed in the House right now.
The U.S. Senate.
The U.S. Senate, that is.
Yeah.
U.S. Senate saying, hey, let's do the 32-hour work week.
Yep.
Same pay, 32 hours. Your thoughts, go chime in on our Facebook page or always give us a call, 925-WSJM.
Again, the thought being, because of AI, we're so much more productive now in our work that we can afford to go down to 4 days, 8 hours a day, 32 hours total, same pay, same benefits.
And a lot of other people chiming in about, speaking about pay, because we have talked about March Madness and how the bracket is going to be out soon. And really, if you think about it, March Madness and then bowl season in college football, huge money makers for these universities that are in it. You think about all the TV deals that they get for sports and all that. Now they have the name, image, likeness thing where the students and the players get paid, and some of them are making big enough money that they don't even want to go pro because they're like, I'm making a ton of money here. But there was a new poll out from the Associated Press, NORC Center for Public Affairs Research.
Jeez.
Wow, that sounds important.
Man.
They found that more than half of adults do not believe that the NCAA athletes should be allowed to form a union so they could collectively bargain with schools. This comes as just as Dartmouth and their men's basketball team moving forward to form the first labor union in all of college sports. Not sure if you saw that a couple of weeks ago. Younger adults were more likely to support a student athlete union.
Huh.
It's interesting right now because of this name, image, and likeness thing is so new that some of these big, well-known athletes are making some big money and everybody else not making much at all.
New to college.
It's new to college.
New to college.
Well, it's known now because there's so many players that were getting money under the table.
No.
And then, since getting their trophies taken away, I mean, like Reggie Bush is one of the famous ones where he had his Heisman Trophy taken away because of he was getting some money.
So what you're saying is there's a college where the
They started a
athletics
union.
The athletics has started the union.
They pretty much are getting close to forming it. Yeah.
And they're forming a union because they want better pay
Mhm.
for the sport they play in their free time at college. Right? Because I mean, college athletics, that's your free time. That's not a class, right?
It's one of the main
That's your
reasons
free time at college.
You're brought to the school for that reason.
Well, wait, that's my point here, which is probably going to be unpopular, but college, higher education, let's see if I think about the name of higher education. It's supposed to be going there to get an education, but now they're forming a union to get paid for stuff they're doing in their spare time at the school.
Right. Same as a job, though, if you think about it.
But you go to college so you can get a better job. Unless you're just doing the sports thing. I don't know. It's all upside down. I'll stop.
Well, and you're recruited to that university. Think about it.
For science,
Just
technology, engineering, or mathematics?
That happens too.
Yeah.
There's scholarships that way.
That's true.
And the amount of work that you're putting in. I mean, if you think about college athlete, the amount of time that they spend outside of schooling to do this, it is a job.
It is a job. I'll give you that.
And the fact that there's millions, billions of dollars being made by these universities on behalf of those students.
So what you're saying is the NBA has a farm team and it's called the college system.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe take it out of the college system. Let us do learning in the colleges.
Well,
again, going to be incredibly unpopular here. But I mean, if a multi-billion-dollar industry is profiting off of turning college system into a sports farm team, maybe there's something wrong with that.
Well, I think that's I thought what was wrong with it was the fact that all these colleges were able to make billions of dollars off of these students. And, you know, what do you see in every promo for March Madness? Oh, well, you see that star player from Michigan State or that star player from this school. And it's like, I'm not making any money off of you using that, but then I can watch TV and see all of these athletes making, I mean, in the professional sports, they make so much money off of their endorsement of their likeness that they don't even care about their salary that they're making as a player. They're like, oh, well, I make, you know, I'll take a pay cut over there because I can do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the will there be a way of Wow. I mean, there's in professional sports, you've got all your players' unions.
Yeah, that's true.
And the amount of time in college sports, you probably spend more time practicing and doing all these things. You probably spend more time working on the next week's game and in your sport than professional players do.
Or your schoolwork.
Yeah. Or your schoolwork. I mean, you most of these players, especially if they're like baseball or they're doing a lot of traveling and stuff like that. Yeah, they're taking classes, but most of the time it's online or they've got to, go back to the university, take a test, or somebody else taking the test for them.
Help me out here because, I mean, baseball has farm teams that are outside the collegiate system.
Yeah.
They have it inside of the collegiate system.
There's
as well.
so many people that get drafted from high school.
Why isn't there the same for basketball and football?
I don't know. I've always thought that there should be a minor league. They're starting to do that with football, like the XFL or now what's the UFL, because the USFL and the XFL formed one thing. And now it's kind of becoming that. And then you have the G League for the NBA. But college or hockey has minor league teams.
Yeah.
We have some around here. Baseball, has minor league teams. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder because the cost of, and speaking firsthand, the cost of tuition for college, huge.
Right.
Yeah, especially if you're not playing sports.
It is, but you say even $40,000. You look at if you said, okay, your university for the year is $50,000 per player. It's like, oh, but we're gonna make about $1 billion just off of your next 6 games. So
use that to reduce the tuition.
Yeah. Anyways, we got a lot of other stuff to get to. We got Moody on the market update coming up next. It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
Winter with its cold, dry air causing that.
All right.
Let's see. First, we torque the attorneys. Now we're torquing the colleges and the sports players. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just talking about the 32-hour work week. What do you think? How many hours do you think the athletes put in? Way more than that. So they definitely
on their schoolwork.
Well, both.
Oh, okay.
Not all athletes are stupid. They're smart.
Who called them stupid?
They're spending time on their schoolwork.
Okay.
All right, we'll get to your Moody on the Market update here in
I
just
want
a
an
minute.
audit.
Okay.
Get some facts there. You want to talk about Seeds Brewing?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll do that in just about 1 minute.
Hey, Alex. Good morning. Happy Friday.
I don't mind the idea of the union just because of the balance that it can create of of this collective bargaining kind of stuff. Because right now you've got some of these athletes that are making, Caitlin Clark, Caleb Williams, and then there's there's the gymnast from LSU is like in the top 5 most amount of money they make off of their endorsements and stuff like that. But it's all over the place. And it's not always coming from the schools or the because some of them have set up like a foundation that's how they're getting paid is through the funds instead of every little investor, everybody that spends a little bit of money on the college ends up handing you an envelope full of cash like they used to back in the day.
The good old days.
The good old days when you got the envelope of cash.
Hey, is that your Trans Am?
Yeah.
No, not mine.
No,
Yes, it
definitely
is.
not.
Yes, it is.
All right, here we go.
It's the morning show with Jonny and Ken on 94.9 WSJM.
Having so much fun. We're way over time here.
Where's the dry erase board?
Way
Did you bring the
over
dry
time.
erase board?
Oh man, I'm gonna give you something. We'll get to we've got your Moody on the Market update happening now. It's brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
And talking about a business update, this is a fun one. Seeds Brewery in Union Pier named the best new brewery in the United States.
What?
In the United States. That's according to a new ranking published in USA Today's 10 Best Reader's Choice section.
Wow. So the publication notes that craft breweries are opening in record numbers in the United States at rates of hundreds each year to honor the best new breweries in the country. Those founded in the past 3 years since beginning of 2021. They asked a panel of beer experts to nominate their top picks. Probably a lot of flannel and beards among.
How'd you
people.
like to be a beer expert?
I would love that.
Yeah.
Then the readers casted votes for their favorites. Number 1 in the nation.
Yeah.
Seeds Brewery in Southwest Michigan. So it's pretty amazing.
How exciting is that? So what they wrote about Seeds Brewery at Union Pier is Midwest breweries tend to get overshadowed by all the hop-centric Pacific Northwest pubs or either of the coasts when it comes to craft beers. But Seeds, they say, a small batch brewery in Union Pier is making its mark in bringing visitors to the sleepy town of just over 600 inhabitants. They locally source all their hops and malt, and they specialize in slow pours, taking 5 to 7 minutes for the perfect pint. Yeah, 5 to 7 minutes to pour the perfect pint. Czech and German-style lagers are at the forefront there. So really great publicity in USA Today's Reader's Choice for Seeds Brewery in Union Pier.
They also cut bottles open with swords.
Do they really?
Yeah, just sometimes on Instagram I'll watch them do that.
That
like
is
if they're
fun.
introducing a new beer, they'll saber it.
They'll saber it.
Yeah.
And then you are supposed to savor it afterwards.
Savor the flavor.
Ah, very nice.
Seeds.
But number 1 is Seeds Brewery. Number 2 is a place called Project Brewing out in Seattle.
Nice.
Number 3, there's one in New Jersey, another Washington State one, North Carolina. The lesser known beer company is number 5 in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Oh.
So North Kakalaki.
North Kakalaki. Yeah.
Funky Town Brewery in Chicago is number 6.
Won't you take me there?
To Funky Town.
Yeah, take me to Funky.
Turner Haas Brewery in Chicago is number 7.
Nice.
Then there's a Pennsylvania, another North Carolina, and another Washington one rounds out the 10.
Great honor for them. So yeah, you have to check it out if you've never been there. I've never been there before.
I have not been there
driven
either.
by many times. I've heard great things. I've not had a chance to go there. Now I definitely have to.
Yeah. So you can check out that full article, find out more about Seeds Brewery at moodyonthemarket.com.
And your update is brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
We're watching over you.
All right, everybody. Way over time. That about does it for us for today. Had a great chat. You have a great weekend. Be safe on St. Patrick's Day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Or don't do anything I would do. You know what I mean?
Oh, boy. Boy.
Yeah.
Have a great one. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate you.
The green beer, not a fan. Never been a fan of the green beer.
Yeah, it's a little bit trite.
Yeah. I would rather have High C Ecto Cooler instead.
What is that?
Do you remember that?
Ecto Cooler?
Ecto Cooler.
Is that Ghostbusters or something?
Yeah. Came in a can. Which is great. The Hawaii High C or Hawaii, yeah, it was High C, not Hawaiian Punch. But yeah, you would go get in a can and you would do you'd have to pop the holes in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could take the whole can off and pour it into a pitcher or something like that, but you just pop the little corners and pour it out of the can. Oh,
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yum.
Delicious.
Yum.
Way too much sugar.
Yeah. So you're going to do the corned beef.
I'm going to do the corned beef, possibly make Irish soda bread, probably first part of next week.
Very nice.
So I'll probably bring some in.
Soda bread?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can try it.
I would love to try it.
All right. That about does it, everybody.
See ya.
You have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.